All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the artist Andrew speaking, and I'm going to do some drawing and maybe some peep eating, and we'll see how that goes. All right, give me just a second. I just got to get everything
And
set
welcome
up.
to Misfit
There we
Corner
go.
Comics
All right, now I know the audio is working just fine. Whew. I sent out the invites to a couple of people, and we'll see if anybody's able to join. This is not my normal time for live streaming, so there might not be anybody out there looking, but hey, you never know. Oh, let's see if I got my pencil around here somewhere. Here we go. All right. Just need to set up my camera. I just got a message from somebody, and I can't see the message, so I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah, I know. This makes for good live streams when there's nobody to talk to, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Let me set the camera up. Whew. Man, had a long day at work today. I'll tell you guys all about that while I'm drawing. That's just what I do. Waiting for the camera to get set up. There we go. It's a 3-step process here. Get to live streaming. And get recording. All right. Boop. And hit the button. All right. Excellent. All right. So today at work, we one of the guys that's involved in supervising a lot of stuff that goes on, behind the scenes with the building itself, was ordering new shocker, whatever those devices are when somebody's having a heart attack that you use on them and so forth. AED, I think, is the name of the device. Well, he's getting ready to order some for the building, and one of the other things that we could do is set up to have CPR classes done and get certified in CPR. And he asked me if I wanted to, and I said, sure, no problem. So yesterday, he sends me the link, and they set up the training class for today from 1 to 3, a 2-hour training class. So not a big deal, but I usually take my lunch around 1. So the idea was, do I take my lunch or do I wait till after the training? And I said, you know what, I'll just, because I don't want to risk leaving early and then getting there late, because I don't like to be late for anything, except my live streams. But I'm bummed. Yeah, I know. Okay. So I said to myself, okay, no problem. I'll just wait till after the training class. And the training class was actually really good. The lady that gave the class was fantastic. She was very funny. She was really, really good. She was a good trainer. But the class lasted till almost 4:30. It's like, oh man, I was so hungry at that point. So I went upstairs, finished whatever requests I had from my boss and other people, and then I left, went home. It was about 5:15, almost 5:30. So I'm heading home, and now at this point, I'd only eaten breakfast. So I had no lunch, and I was just a weeny little bit hungry. So I went and got some food and went home, and my first thought was, if I'm going to eat Peeps tonight, I better have food in my stomach, because the last thing I want to do is try to attempt to eat another set of Peeps on an empty stomach. So tonight, I am prepared. I am prepared in the fact that I have eaten a full dinner. I'm actually kind of stuffed right now, so I'm kind of letting everything settle before I dive into the Peeps. So we'll see how that goes. But, whew. Yeah, I know. As Avery says, Andrew's stories are never interesting to anybody but him. And that often is true. And, if you can't entertain yourself, who can you entertain, I have an idea for working on a new costume. I had worked on it previously, and one of my other sketches was a new costume for Hero. In book 3, he's actually given like a mission to accomplish, something he has to do by himself. and he's it's not. I don't want to say it's a hard mission, but the fact that he's being sent to do it by himself, because technically he's the only person that can actually do it. So he's a little nervous about that. He's not going to have Pudge to help him out in this mission. Pudge actually has other responsibilities because there's a lot of stuff going on in the city. And oh, whoa, I sure did make his shoulders really far away. It's all right. You'd think I'd be used to drawing this character by now, you know. But he's going into a cavern, a series of caves that's built into the mountain. Not built into the mountain, but in the mountain that the city is like right up next to up against, and he has to find something of an item of great power and great importance and so forth, and he's going to go into this cave by himself. He's got to climb the rocks and get to the top of this cavern thing and find this item that will hopefully save the day. So we'll see.
No, he isn't.
Hey, Lorenzo, how's it going, man?
Okay.
Oh, boy, you're loud. Hold on a second.
Oh, I can just...
Maybe it might be on my end that I got you loud, but man.
Yeah, I turned myself down. Is that any better?
Yeah, now it's good. So how's it going?
Yeah, because I noticed how loud I was on the video, and that was quite shocking.
Yeah, well, I clipped out the peep part, and I must have lowered myself too low because I was very, very quiet, and everybody else was really loud. I'm like, Argh.
Yeah, I noticed I'm the only one here besides you. After the peep video.
Well, this is one of my unscheduled, not normal live streams. So I was pretty sure I wasn't going to get a lot of people. So, but I'm glad you're able to join.
Not a lot of peeps. Not a lot of peeps after you ate the peeps.
Well, I told everybody I was going to make another video with more peeps, but I can honestly only do one of those packages a day. So I got 4 more packages, so I may just live stream for the next 4 days. But
are you really diabetic?
Yeah, but I'm not.
Hey, Rick.
Yes, I am, but it's not. I lived with it for a long, long time before I was diagnosed, so it's not like.
Hello, hey there.
Hey, Rick, how's it going, man? What you doing?
Not much.
I'm surprised.
Thought I'd come in for.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just said not much. I just thought I'd come in for about 20 minutes,
okay.
25 minutes before I
cool. I'm glad you're here.
My DC Universe Online. We want to hear something funny?
Well, we'd love to hear something funny.
I was just over watching Dumpfish, and they got talking about I guess Sparkles had something wrong with her throat or something like that, or cough or cold or something like that.
Okay.
And somebody did a super chat about doing something with putting onions in milk to cure it or whatever. And it got the whole chat talking about all these weird little things or whatever, or different weird things. And I typed in the chat bear gravy.
Oh.
And then Keon actually read it.
That's funny. Did they ask what it was?
No.
Okay. Did they try to figure out what it was, or?
No.
Okay.
just the fact that they read it, you know.
That's funny. That's fun. Avery would be very proud. Oh, Avery's in the chat. Hold on. So he says, "I'm watching Fire and Ice and then go into bed." That's cool. That's cool, Avery. I know he works early tomorrow morning, so that's one of the reasons why I don't normally live stream on Thursdays, is because I know what his schedule is like. So
yeah,
but
probably because tomorrow is Good Friday, and you probably won't be streaming.
Well, I'm still streaming tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Friday is my normal day to just live stream. So Hey, Commodore, how's it going? He says, I'm not feeling up to hanging out right now. That's no problem, no problem. I send the invite out to everybody.
Yeah, I've thought of not going on tomorrow afternoon. I don't know yet.
You mean for your noon show?
Yeah.
Well,
I may or may not. I don't know. It's not like I'm going to be doing much.
yeah.
But then I'm just trying to. I might not. It's indie day, so.
I have a gripe about Easter.
Later, Mom.
I have a gripe about Easter. One of the things I do at my work is I base our forecasting models, forecasting how many calls we're going to get and so forth, and when we're going to get them and so forth, based on the number of calls we got the previous year. And when I did the forecast for April, I used April's numbers. And then my boss asked me specifically, says, hey, what is Good Friday going to be like based on last year? And what is the day after Easter going to be like? And I said, well, I'll get those numbers for you. That's not a problem. And I didn't even think about them when I did my initial analysis. And I told him, I said, well, I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is we're not going to get flooded with calls either on Friday or Monday. But the bad news is I didn't put it in my calculations for this month. And one of the things I do is when I forecast for the month, I kind of set it in stone so I don't adjust it. So I don't, as the month goes on, I'm not in there tweaking it unless there's like a significant change. That way I can prove that my forecasting model is, good, is the fact that I don't change the numbers. And I said, the good news is we're going to have less calls than expected. The bad news is, did you realize that Easter was on April 1st last year? Okay, now you might think to yourself, what does that have to do with anything? What it means is Good Friday was in March, which means it was not part of my forecasting model for this April. So therefore, I can't adjust what I forecasted for Friday, Good Friday, but because Monday hasn't happened yet, I can move the numbers around slightly. And I'm like, crap, I'm going to come in. My forecast model is going to be hugely overblown because I based it on the entire month of April and not based on Good Friday and the day after Easter. So it's like, it's just, I hate being wrong. That's the thing. I hate being off.
You're the Ebenezer Scrooge of Easter.
Yeah. I completely forgot it was on April 1st last year, and that makes a huge difference in my. Well, it doesn't make a huge difference. Can you
use March's predictions?
March is already over. I already solidified April. So.
All he'd have to do is take into consideration Good Friday. He only has to take into consideration one day.
Well, yeah.
So Good Friday was in March of last year.
I've been running close to less than 2% off for the entire month so far. And it's going to be blown out of the water come Monday. So.
But is there any way to take a look at what happened that Good Friday in March of last year?
I did, but because I based April's forecast on last April, I didn't even look at Good Friday. Good Friday.
You look now. You can't adjust your predictions.
Well, I can't adjust the overall predictions, so I'm kind of stuck. And because I can't go backwards and change stuff, I can only move forward. Like Monday, I can adjust Monday's number, but I can't adjust the Friday because all the other, it's technicality, and it's just driving me crazy because I was doing so well.
I thought you could because Friday hasn't happened.
Yeah, Friday hasn't happened yet, but all the other Fridays in the month, there's only one other Friday, and that one, if I adjust it for that Friday, I'm either going to get hit this Friday or I'm going to get hit next Friday. I can kind of try to balance it out, but
interesting.
Yeah, no, I just totally forgot that Easter happened this month. Otherwise, I would have been better prepared for it. I really do have to look at a calendar next time I do my forecast.
So you're trying to figure out how busy you're going to be.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I gave him my prediction of what our volume is going to be like. It's not a big, huge difference. I mean, it's not huge. It's like we usually can do, over 1,000 on a Monday, and I'm predicting 900 and something, no, 9,000 and something. So I mean, it's not a huge difference, but I like being closer. I like being more accurate, and I kind of shut.
What is it you do?
Well, I work for a call center, and the whole company just answers the phone, and I do.
Oh, the entire thing's a call center. Okay, that
yeah, and
I do. That might be important to try to get the numbers.
Yeah, I do the
prediction. So you're trying to predict how many calls you'll get a month.
Yeah, but not only that, I try to predict how many calls we're going to get a day and how many calls we're going to get each interval of the day. Yeah, half-hour intervals.
This is like if somebody had dropped a box of matches and Rain Man got it wrong.
Yes, I'd be very disappointed. No, I'm not that good. But I told my boss one day, I said, because when I make my predictions, like I said, I kind of set it in stone. I say, okay, this is the number for the entire month, and this is how it's going to break down by day of the week, and so forth. And I told him, I said, if I ever hit the number right on the nose, if I predict 10,000 or 1,372, and it comes in at 10,372, I said, I'm going to drop the mic and I'm taking the day off of work early. And he told me, he says, if you do it, I'll let you do that. I said, all right, cool. So that's like my goal is to nail it. Well, I did it once. I've done it once. And
wow.
We have two different main divisions, and one is like 10 times larger than the smaller one. And the one that I nailed was the smaller one. He said, all right, see, that's too easy. He said, you got to get the big one. And I'm like, okay, I've gotten within like 20 calls on some days. So my forecasting model is pretty good. It's pretty damn good. And I'm very proud of it. And I as part of my job, it's one of the things I revel in, is getting really close with my forecasting model.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to, like right now I run, I know this is shop talk and Avery hates this kind of crap, but I run under 5% in my forecasting, where if the forecast is 120,000 calls in a month, if I get 122,000 and a half, that's within 5%. So my goal is to get under 2%.
Well, this explains a lot
about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super anal and I like numbers, and yeah. But
Autist confirmed.
Oh yeah. Oh, Avery would tell you I'm definitely on the spectrum. That's what he says. That's what he calls it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
which is probably why you're good at art.
Well, I'm not sure if art translates to numbers, because I know a lot of artists who couldn't even balance their checkbook. So
but you probably obsess over something until
that is true. Well, I told my boss one time, I says, I do most of my thinking in the shower first thing in the morning. So I'll be getting ready for work, taking a shower, and then I'll think of something that, oh man, I just realized a way to make this spreadsheet or this report or this thing better and more accurate and so forth. And so I was not on vacation with my wife, but I was driving my wife back down to Daytona for her vacation. And on the way back, I had a brain fart for something, and I had to get home and write it all down and do it the next day at work. And I told my boss, I said, I'm constantly thinking about this stuff, and he thinks it's funny, but I wish I could constantly think about art and Indiegogo campaigns and all that other good stuff, but oh well.
So you got a little nugget in the chat, and a Bethany. Hey Bethany. Hey,
hey
Bethany.
Nugget. Yeah, hey Bethany. Maybe a little nugget. I don't think I've seen that person before. So much
Little
words.
Nugget says so much words, my nugget brain can't handle this.
Obviously, I'm talking too much. Sorry about that, man. Yeah, I know. When I start talking about work and numbers and stuff like that, people tend to drown out. Bethany says, if you're getting 120,000 calls a month with people complaining, your productivity doesn't work. No, I don't think anybody's well, I'm sure somebody out there is complaining, but no, our business model, that for the call center, we're constantly hiring and looking for more people because the work is constantly growing. But how many people we need and so forth is based on my forecasting calculation. So I try to make sure it's as accurate as possible. So, but I like the work, so it's fun. And I don't have to talk to customers on the phone, which I absolutely hate that. One of my first jobs in corporate America was a collection agent, and I had to call people about their past due credit card bills. Whew, I honestly I was not a big fan of that job.
So you work at a call center, but you don't have to call people?
No, I don't have to call in, but I do all their reports, their monthly reports, and all their
In some ways, that's one of the stupidest jobs ever.
What's that?
A call agent trying to get people to put out money that they don't necessarily have.
Well, a lot of that job was calling people and just reminding them they were late. Most of the time, people just had forgotten, or they'd already sent the payment, we just hadn't gotten it yet. So I didn't do a lot of late stage collections, which is you're months and months past due. When people get to that point, they're not going to pay you.
You're late on your payment for Rick's cards. His $75 cards.
As soon as I get paid, Rick, I promise, I'll order a copy of the $10 cards. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Whew, man. So,
what do you think of my Groot?
What do you think of your Groot? Oh, let me see again. Hold on. Talk again so I can see it.
Hello.
Oh, not bad. Not bad.
And Rocket, of course.
Well, he's definitely a little guy compared to Groot. I always drew the baby Groot and Rocket, so Rocket was always bigger, but that's just the way I like to draw. I like to draw bigger.
Well, I think there was an option of which Groot we wanted to see. I didn't type anything in the chat, and
oh yeah,
wasn't there, Rick?
Yeah, I asked before it even started, baby Groot or adult Groot?
Is this a commission or is this part of the art challenge?
No, that was just Thursdays. I draw a Marvel character.
Oh, okay.
And I decided to draw Groot and Rocket.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
And I just asked in the chat, beforehand. So, do people want baby Groot or adult Groot?
And they picked adult Groot?
Yeah, there was more for adult Groot than baby Groot. There was, I think, one for adult or one for baby.
Oh, okay.
Which was Skunk Girl, Manny's wife.
So the Groot reminds me of those treants in D&D.
Okay, I just got what Bethany was saying. She says that if you're getting 120,000 calls a month with people complaining, your product doesn't work. It's a doctor appointment line where people call us to set up doctor's appointments. So people aren't calling to complain about stuff. Well, some people do, but I mean the majority of the calls are I'm calling to make an appointment. So yeah, 120,000 complaints a day would be a lot, but no. That's the difference. See, if I talk too much, I'll be doxing myself. So, and where I work, so I need to be quiet.
Well, I was telling Rick that the Groot reminds me of a treant or treant. I don't know how it's pronounced. And D&D, it's spelled Treant. and like a tree person.
Oh, okay.
We also have something similar in Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, no, they were also in what's the name of it? Lord of the Rings. Tree people.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Treebeard.
that's probably the older source of. I'm trying to remember when was Wizard of Oz read in, and when was Lord of the Rings?
Oh, that's a good question.
Wizard of Oz might be older, actually. The Lord of the Rings is based somewhat on mythology.
I think if I had to guess, Wizard of Oz is probably older than Lord of the Rings.
1900, and Lord of the Rings, I think, was later than that.
Yeah, because Lord of the Rings was part of it. Part of it was an allegory of the Industrial Revolution and so forth. So yeah, that's definitely after the 1900s.
1937.
Yeah, there you go. So.
Yeah, it would have been written somewhere around the same time as not because Lewis's Lion Witch in the Wardrobe, because Tolkien and him wrote that stuff around the same time.
Yeah.
Then fans argue over which one they like better.
Yeah, I did say call center, but
1950 for Lion Witch. That doesn't mean, I didn't think it was that late for Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe.
What? When?
1950.
It was after the war, so that makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
But
yeah,
he had the idea probably before then. But that was
probably.
Hey JP, how's it going? I'm sorry you snuck in. I didn't realize it. Boy, oh boy.
Who's that? P Money?
No, JP4.
Oh, hey JP.
Hey there. Oh, I see. Yeah, Lord of the Rings was 54, so that's only 4 years later. So, Rick, you're right.
Kodiak says he's having a problem with his mic setup, and he'll be in shortly. So I'll hold off on the peeps until he gets here.
Oh gosh. No, you don't use your webcam for anything like useful. Well, you draw, but I'm saying you don't use the face webcam for anything useful.
No, I don't use it for anything really, except for eating peeps.
Isn't that a second webcam?
Do I have a second one? Yes, yeah. Well, that's the FaceTime one. The one where it's just me is coming from the computer itself. The one that I have overhead that sees me drawing is just an additional webcam that I bought.
Yeah, that's a useful one.
Yeah,
it is useful.
You know, it's really not a good plan to eat your peeps. Then you just have nobody watching.
Yeah, but you have to admit it's hilarious.
You want to keep your peeps and eat them too, Rick.
Well, actually, you know what? I had the whole half a package left of the pancake and syrup peeps, and I took them to my wife and I offered to her, and she tried one and she really liked it. She thought it was really good. I thought it was kind of bland.
Yeah, that's what I said it would be, is bland. Because they typically are. Though you said there was one kind that you had before that wasn't bland, some sort of.
Well, the one I tried before was the fruit punch one, and that one was really. It was much more pungent. The smell was so much more. It was the best part of it, to be honest with you. Even tasting it, it was better to smell it. But
did any of them have any taste, any flavor?
Well, I mean, they're supposed to have flavor to them. Doesn't necessarily mean they do.
They're just pure sugar.
Pure sugar. All right. You guys
I don't know how they take marshmallows, so they ruin them.
I think we have them here all year round, different flavors. I know at Christmas this year I saw ones that were candy cane.
Now I've seen them during Halloween where they're like shaped like pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns and all, but I don't think they have any special taste.
Keep saying abomination. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, you know what? To each their own. But I saw them and I just had to have them. All right, guys. Hey, talk amongst yourself for just a quick second. I got to grab some water. I'll be right back.
I was gonna say, if he can't hear me, but If he's eating his peeps, doesn't that make him a cannibal?
I don't know. Is he like a furry? Because it very well might be the case if he is. He really should go and put his art on Fur Affinity. He'd probably get a lot of people interested. I was talking to an artist yesterday who actually did that. And as soon as the guy uploaded his stuff to Fur Affinity, people, just a few minutes later, people were like already interested in this stuff. It was amazing.
Well, Avery had asked me if I was going to do Drawn and Quartered Fan Edition tonight. I believe they did last night One Punch Man on the Pro Edition. Okay. So they're doing something. They're going to do it kind of based on manga or whatever tonight, and they are already full up. So I went in and looked, and normally there's maybe 1 or 2 spaces left over. Tonight it is full. So.
Oh, that's a fan edition. Yeah, I think I read something earlier today. Would have been Pixel Trader. Is he one of the people in charge of that particular show?
Yes, he is. Yeah. He's one of the guys that helps do the setup.
Okay, that's what he was talking about. I thought he was talking about the Pro Edition, but must be the Fan Edition.
Yep. Nope, it's the Fan Edition.
Yeah.
Which, and
go ahead.
Wait a minute. I was just going to read Kodiak's chat. He says, never mind. My wife just came home. She said if I don't make steaks, she's going to make beef steaks out of me. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So what does that mean? Does that mean you're not going to join us, man? Oh, you suck.
Sounds like you might be busy.
Yeah, that's all right.
So I was telling Rick that I was talking to an artist yesterday, and as I was talking to him, he posted something on Fur Affinity, and he's not a furry, but he had like some anthropomorphic art, and just like as soon as he uploaded it, it seemed like it was only just a couple minutes or so, and all of a sudden there were all these people liking it.
You said he was doing animamorph.
Yeah, even had like an elf character that he uploaded, and people liked it. So it wasn't just.
Well, you'd be surprised at what some weirdo people out there like. So.
Well, I don't think they're all necessarily weirdos. I think because I've got furries who follow me, and they seem like normal people who just happen to like anthropomorphic animals. Like I think it all started out with people being fans of Bugs Bunny, and then the furry community started developing their own characters over time.
Yeah, I don't know if it started with Bugs Bunny, but yeah, I got what you're saying.
Yeah, that sort of thing, because a lot of cartoon characters used to be, a lot of animated cartoons were characters were anthropomorphic.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying to Lorenzo after you left, if you are eating your peeps, does that make you a cannibal? Andrew?
I don't get it. What are you saying?
And I respond, if you're furry, it does. It might.
Oh.
Peeps, people? You eating your people?
I have never referred to anybody as a peep. It's just, that's never happened.
What about your peeps in the chat?
No, I don't have peeps in the chat.
They're not your people in the chat?
No, they're people. They're not. Okay. All right. So I was thinking I would draw another Avengers character tonight.
I already drew 2.
Yeah.
Well, they're not Avengers. They're Guardians of the Galaxy, but they're in the Avengers.
Well, see, I don't know. I'm trying to pick characters that are going to be in an Avengers Endgame.
Well, Rocket is. And I'm sure Groot will end up being it. You should draw Rocket. He's right up your alley.
Yeah, draw Brie Larson. She's right up your alley.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I'll eventually draw Brie Larson. So.
Oh my gosh.
It'll happen. It'll happen. I'm not gonna. Well,
you draw. Will you draw Brie Larson or will you draw Captain Marvel?
I'll draw Captain Marvel. You know?
Will she be Brie Larsonified or?
No, I don't think so. I think I can get away with not Brie Larsoning her. So. Now, Mike's already told me, he said, hey, what time you get off work for Thursday? I said, I usually get off around 4:30, 5 o'clock. And he said, well, then come straight to my work and we'll go see Endgame. And I'm like, excellent. Very cool.
Yeah, I already got my ticket for the Thursday that it's out.
Say that again?
I said I've already got my ticket for Endgame. For on the Thursday that it comes out.
Out. I just wanted to hear you say out. I'm sorry.
When I go see it, I'll be out and about.
Out and about. I love it. I love it.
It's interesting. It's not quite out. It's not quite out. It's somewhere in between. It's not like it's not exactly like how Scottish people pronounce the word. It's not quite how Americans do.
You know,
you want me to saying out and about?
Out in a boot. I think I'm going to draw Thanos again. I wasn't really happy with the Thanos I did before.
Didn't you do two?
What's that?
Did you do Thanos and Furry Thanos?
Yes, I did Thanos and I did Furry Thanos, yes.
Which one are you going to be drawing?
This evening?
Yeah, you're gonna...
Probably the regular version of Thanos.
I guess the Furry Thanos was very furious.
Furious?
He was furious with your design choices. So I noticed you're starting out with a foundation.
Mm-hmm. That's usually where you start out. Well, I'm actually looking... tonight I'm actually looking at a picture from the movie. So it makes it a little bit different. Last time I was looking at a picture from the comic, so...
Oh, he's just trying to bug me.
Bug you? Why would you?
Yeah, because I don't usually do all the boxes and stuff like that ahead of time.
Or said he liked my Thanos. Oh, well, thank you, man. I wasn't thrilled with it. I should not have gone for the color. The color is what killed it for me, I think.
It's just interesting to see the foundation because at first it's just like some geometric shapes or something, and then as the artist goes along, it's almost like the artist is magically transforming into something. It
does feel like that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just exciting to watch that and I think the artist can come up with a little more accurate proportions that way.
Well, one of the things about art, especially comic book art, is it's really, really subjective in the fact that you can take a line which when you're looking at it, you say to yourself, that doesn't work at all. And then you can end up making it work just fine because, you can change it, you can move it around, you can, do other things with it. And like I did a line right here where it's kind of like put a smile on his face. Well, I don't want to do a smile on his face, so I just change the line. And it makes it, in some ways, it makes it better. But we'll see how it goes. Then again,
but doesn't having some sort of like foundation help?
It does. It does. If you're used to, building on top of a foundation, if you have an idea, like I started with a simple circle. That just gives me an idea of where the head starts at.
Yeah.
And then I build on top of that. And now I know that one of the things about Thanos is that his chin is huge and so forth, and bulbous and circular and so forth. So I know that it's going to be completely out of proportion to any other person's chin.
That makes sense.
The geometric shapes that I use to create a head don't have to always follow the same exact plan.
Well, it would probably depend on the character.
It depends on the character. That's absolutely right. And you can also, good thing about being an artist is you can be free with it. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to make something exactly like the way everybody else, or you can do your own thing.
Yeah, that's true. Now, what about if you were like drawing that robot gal from the Jetsons to get kind of a square head? Would you start it with a square?
I don't think I've ever drawn the robot
What's
gal.
her name?
Rosie the robot?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
The maid.
The maid, yeah. Honestly, I've never drawn her before. Maybe I'll look into that someday.
That'd be interesting.
Well, she was definitely
Is
I
that
think she's cool.
is that a sleeve stack thing?
No, I think that's like a. What was that? Is it Filmation or Hanna-Barbera?
Hanna-Barbera.
If I remember correctly, it's Hanna-Barbera. Yeah.
Well, the Rosies was certainly made somewhere.
Let's see, the Jetsons. Apparently, it was on ABC.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Hanna-Barbera. It was originally part of the futuristic world of Hanna-Barbera. Black. Oh no, that was. I guess that was when it was revived. I guess it started on. It says started on from 62. September 23, 62 to March 17, 1963. Then later in syndication with new episodes in 1985 to 1987 as part of the futuristic world Hanna-Barbera. Black.
And what year was that?
That's kind of weird because it originally started out in 62 and 63, but then it was like, and then later in syndication, and it says with new episodes in 1985 to 1987. That's a long hiatus. I mean, without new episodes.
They'd be like the Flintstones, sort of, They came out around the same time, got popular, got cut off, canceled, and then became popular, in syndication. And then they did more and more stuff for the Flintstones over the years.
Now, I can't remember if I watched those on Saturday morning cartoons or if I watched them at afternoon. I don't remember when they were on when I was a kid, when I was watching them. But I remember watching both the Flintstones and the Jetsons. I just don't remember when I watched them.
Yeah. Okay, well, I got to take off, so I will see you guys later.
Good to see you, Rick.
Take it easy, Rick.
Yeah.
Rick was thinking I was stealing his snack eating segment. And I am. Just don't tell him that.
Interesting. Yeah, he
I didn't know
he was doing that first.
Yeah, I didn't know he was doing that.
But he did that it's like on a sister channel.
Yeah.
The Pied Piper of now I can't think of the city he lives in.
Thanos is a big dude.
Is it like Hamilton or Ontario? Because he goes and he uses it. I mean, he talks about it openly, so I'm not doxing him.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what town he lives in, but I don't think he lives in one of the major ones, like Ontario.
I think it's Pied Piper of Hamilton, Ontario.
Oh, okay.
This show is called Pied Piper of Hamilton. Okay. And he's actually shown photos from his city. It's actually got some pretty big buildings. It's bigger than anything like town.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's quite built up. But it's not like something... It's weird. It's not like something I don't hear people talk about Hamilton much, but it has a population of 500,036. Oh gosh, I'm out of it today.
That's all right.
536,917 people.
You think that'd be enough. Or as he would say, enough.
Yeah, some of the buildings are they got some impressive buildings there.
Oh yeah. Do you have any
So-
Do you have any landmarks in your town? Like if you mention them, people would know immediately where you lived.
Um,
I mean, not that I'm
Probably. Well, I live in the Great Lakes region, so I don't know. I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, could just say the name of the lake I live next to, and people would probably know which state.
No, I think
At least that's value their privacy
yeah,
after the Marshall family incident.
yeah, I understand that.
They tried to. They came with their peeps. We resisted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, our big claim to fame is we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, which technically that's not a huge claim to fame, but if you don't have an NFL team in your town, then it's
That's a pretty big.
It's a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's a little more of an obscure team, I think,
Well,
compared to like.
we're going to be good next year, I promise. At least I
So
hope.
what the heck are the Jaguars? Sorry, I just haven't. I don't follow much sports ball.
They're an NFL team, like the Patriots and the Cowboys and the Eagles and all. We're not up there with those teams, but I mean we're in the same league as those teams. Let's put it that way,
Even those teams are kind of like obscure for me, but then again, I'm up north, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm in the same. Let's see. Look at what NFL.
Yeah, you probably have. I don't know if you'd be. I don't know if you're close enough to New England to be a Patriots. You're probably close to like maybe the Vikings or something like that.
Nah.
No. Well, see, if you don't live in a state or in a town that has an NFL team, you got to adopt somebody else's team. My
For the big city.
Yeah, my uncle, when he was overseas, he became a Dolphins fan, and even though I don't know if he'd ever lived in Miami, he was a Dolphins fan. So
NFC North.
yeah, NFC North. I used to be able to tell you who that was, but I don't know off the top of my head anymore.
Oh, it just doesn't even. It's not. Our team's like, not worth criticizing your team over, because it never made it to the Super Bowl. So,
well, we've never.
I might dox myself there.
No, we've never made it to the Super Bowl either. We've hosted a Super Bowl here in Jacksonville. Actually, you know what our big claim to fame in hosting of the Super Bowl is? Do you remember, even if you're not a football fan, you probably remember the Janet Jackson incident?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, Jacksonville hosted the Super Bowl the year after that happened because they went safe and they got Paul McCartney to perform. The NFL went, we need to make sure this doesn't happen again, so let's find somebody who, is safe. And
I don't see how. I didn't even see how that would be like some sort of intentional act.
Well, it
for
wasn't.
Somebody, it's just like something that could happen to a woman's outfit.
Yeah, but
and then they turned it into like a really huge thing. What you do about nothing.
They didn't take. They didn't want to risk something else happening, so they went with the performer for the next year. They went safe.
We might actually have something unplanned happen.
Yep.
We might actually have something that somebody might actually tune in, and they might actually get something unusual might happen.
Well,
we gotta make sure that never happens ever again in a Super Bowl. They'll never be worth watching. And even that wasn't even that big of a deal.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is we were actually watching the game that year, and we missed it completely because it was the halftime show. Nobody cares about nobody watches the halftime show.
Rather, that's the only thing people watch these days.
Well, back then we were actually interested in the game, but
Oh, okay.
the funny thing is we saw it later on all the replays that they did of it. So we missed it completely, but we didn't miss it because they replayed it so often that we got to see it.
Did you play it uncensored or was it always censored?
Well, you can see it online uncensored, but hey, John Dillard's in here. Says, hey, I just subbed. Thank me. I'm waiting. Hello.
Oh, hey,
Hello?
John.
That Thanos is cool. Give it to me. John, such a pushy guy.
That's cool. Yeah, so when I was a kid, I kind of adopted the Chicago Bears because my team was insufficient.
Yeah.
They had like the refrigerator Perry, and that was at least entertaining.
The only reason why I even know of Refrigerator Perry is because of the G.I. Joe figure that never happened. Or maybe it did happen, and
They were going to have one based on him?
yes, there was supposed to be one based on him, and it was like a giveaway one where you had to send in some paperwork or whatever for it, and yeah. But I never got that figure, even though I wanted it. I thought that was cool. But yeah.
I guess his official name is William Perry.
Yep.
I did not know that. Everybody just call him the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Or the fridge, Wikipedia says.
That's
I
right.
don't remember the fridge, but
Yeah, he was big back in the day.
and that was exciting to actually see in play, because I live in a state that really doesn't have. I mean, it has some good players, but they never really just. At least the Chicago Bears had some sort of like chance of making it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, we're talking football, guys. We're gonna stop really, really soon, I promise. But
Yeah, I'm not really all that interested in it. It's just well, as a kid, it was kind of fun to watch.
well, one of the good things about having the Jags here is the town was growing. You know. Oh wait a minute, hold on a second. Dillard's blasting in here. Why are his eyes black? Are you racist? I don't want it anymore. Thanks for nothing. Okay. No problem, Dillard. Anytime, man. Actually, I had plans for the reason why I did his eyes all black is because I was going to use whiteout to create the effect.
Interesting.
No, I thought it. I did it the other day with the Thanos bear, and I liked how it turned out, so I was going to do it again.
Oh, so I see. From 1983 to 1985, contenders then Super Bowl champions. Well, that's why I was watching the Bears. That explains it.
Oh, okay.
Enough bear talk, but I just thought I knew there was a reason.
Yeah.
And refrigerator Perry is mentioned in there, so.
Oh, okay.
So that's why that's.
Didn't the year that they went to the Super Bowl, they created the Super Bowl Shuffle? I'm sure there's a video of it out there somewhere.
Are they the ones with the Super Bowl who had the Super Bowl Shuffle?
Yeah, I think so. The Bears. I forget what year the Bears did that, but yeah.
Interesting.
Because you want to hear something really, really sad?
Are you into the shuffle?
No. I mentioned that the Jags have almost gotten to the Super Bowl twice. They did it in their second year, and then they did it again not last year but the year before, where they made it to the championship game and then they lost. The first time we lost to the Panthers, but in the preparation for that game, some of the Jaguar players created a video, did a song about going to the Super Bowl, and the Panthers coach, in order to motivate his players before the game, went into the locker room and just played them the music video. And that's it. Didn't say anything. Just played them the music video where they're bragging about, "Hey, we're going to the Super Bowl." Yeah, and they made a music video, and that was more than enough for the Panthers team
to annihilate them.
Get motivated and
beat the
crap out of them. So yeah,
that's sad.
So the next time they got close to the Super Bowl, they did not make a video bragging about how they were going to the Super Bowl.
And that's for the best.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl Shuffle, according to Wikipedia, is a rap song performed by players of the Chicago Bears team in 1985.
85. All right.
Interesting.
JP says 82. But you got Wikipedia on your side, so obviously you're right.
Maybe, you know. They tend to be right on this sort of thing.
Isn't Wikipedia like infallible?
They probably got a bunch of trivia nerds.
Yeah. Well, isn't the biggest fault of Wikipedia is that its users can change the information?
Oh yeah,
the big things.
Yeah, it's
and people can put false information in there.
Yeah, they can do that for like say, political purposes or whatever. It's I think it's a problem because it can tend to have a real bad slant.
Yeah, I did do 2 semesters in college, and I had a teacher tell us one time that it's very important that you buy and read the book. And she was saying, because one of the very first questions I ask on the very first test is like, it's in the book. It's very important to read the book because if you go online and you Wikipedia it or Google it, it'll give you the answer incorrectly to the question. So she was trying to encourage everybody to buy the books needed, because if you didn't buy the book, you weren't going to get the right answers. And she knew right away whether or not you had the book or not by the very first question she asked. And she told us that she was going to do this. And you'd be surprised at how many people still, tried to game the system by not buying the book. And she even told us, and that's so funny.
I had a jazz appreciation instructor who didn't have any control over the book that he used, and he just actually told us that the book was full of lies. I'm not sure if that was really true, but that was just his opinion on it.
Yeah,
jazz. But then again, that's jazz. What sort of class were you talking about?
Trying to remember which class it was. I think it was Intro to Psychology. And there might be more common consensus with that than say like a music class where well, I ended up dropping the class because I was failing it. So turns out I don't know anything about psychology. And you may ask yourself, well, why did you need psychology in the first place? Believe it or not, when I went to college with the intention of being a math teacher. That's what I wanted to do. And in order to be a teacher, you had to take a certain amount of English, psychology type class.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would never have made a very good teacher. I don't have a lot of patience when it comes to stuff like that. It used to tick my sister off, because when I was in high school, I did not study a lot and my parents knew the reason why is because either I get it or I don't get it. And if I get it, I got it. And I don't need to read the book if I understand it, if I understand how to figure out the problems. And it used to tick my sister off because she used to have to study math and she barely passed, and I never did my homework and I always passed the tests because I got it. I understood it. I didn't have to do the homework because I understood it. I got it. And that pissed her off because I tried to help her with her math homework one time, and I was told I could no longer do that because it frustrated her so much. Oh well, at least I tried.
Well, it can be. Yeah, some people aren't as good with, say, homework then, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Than other people, or taking tests.
Yes, my son was very bad. His big error that he had is he would do his homework and he would take it to school and he would forget to turn it in. He understood it and he did it. He would just forget to turn it in because he was very, very forgetful. And his teachers would get onto him because of that, because he would forget to turn it in. It's like, you did your homework, but you got a 0 on it. Why? Because I forgot to turn it in.
Oh boy.
What a dork. But yeah, that's my kid. But he was smart enough to be the salutatorian of his class, so, which, by the way, is the number 2 guy, in case you didn't know that.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was the salutatorian of his class.
Is that what that Dr. Bashir on Deep Space Nine was?
Number 2? I have no idea. Oh, hey, Mike. He's skulking behind me.
Trying to get my cat before Shisha jumps up and attacks him.
He's trying to find his cat. Well, good luck to you.
Kodiak says that's what his kid does, is forget to turn it in.
Yep, yeah, which just blows my mind in the fact that people can do that.
Yeah, it's interesting that he remembered to do the homework. It's just he'd forget to turn it in.
Yeah, he never had a problem with doing it. So
fascinating.
Mike, I'm talking about you.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And I got my cat.
Okay, I'm glad you got your cat.
He out of school now?
Oh yeah, he's out of school.
No, that's cool.
Well, he's working. He's got a job. He's working, and he likes his job. So
That's great.
yeah.
Yeah, because school can be frustrating for some people. Always was for me.
Yeah. Well, both kids got their associate degrees, and then they kind of
nice.
Couldn't decide what they wanted to do next, so they're kind of both in like the little hiatus that people go on when they can't decide what it is they're going to do.
Yeah. Well, I knew some guy who was my brother's college roommate, had changed majors like multiple times, and I think it was just like he wasn't far from getting like several different degrees, but he kept changing them.
Yeah. Well,
so I think that guy might have, I don't think everybody's able to do that. Eventually, a lot of people have to go and like get a full-time job or something.
Yeah. Well, my cousin, one of my cousins was visiting recently, and her oldest is college aged. And I asked her, I said, so is she going to college yet? She said, yeah, she started her first semester. I said, oh, cool. What is her first degree of study? Because they're going to change. She's going to change it. There's going to be something else.
And the interesting thing is that people will go and they'll get their degree, and then they'll have to change careers anyway. So
yeah. Well, my daughter, she originally wanted to be an art teacher, and then she went into accounting, and then she did something else, and then she did something else, and then finally she decided, I'm going to take a break until I decide what it is I really want to do. And I told her that's probably for the best, because all you're doing is wasting money if you don't know what you're doing. Well,
probably learning stuff.
Well, yeah, they're learning stuff, but you want to put it towards something. You want to put it towards a certain degree. And if you're not sure what you want to do, then all you're doing is wasting your time, because you may end up taking a class that you don't end up needing.
What if somebody became a professor? Then they can be around all those different books. And like learn from all these different other professors.
Yeah, I never had that much desire to stay in school to do that.
Well, like some professors don't even teach their classes anymore.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I really like that, but I just think that's entertaining. That they'll have like maybe like graduate student teach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in my 2 semesters of college, I took college algebra, which my last math class in high school was AP calculus. So college algebra was a little below me, but it was the only class that was available, because all the other classes that I wanted were full up. And it was on a Wednesday night, and it was mostly, adults trying to get their degrees. I did not realize it was like a remedial class. And I went to the first class, and it was one of those student teachers, And I asked her, I said, hey, if I only came in and just took the tests, what's the best grade I could get? She said, the best grade you can get if you didn't do any of the homework is a C. Even if you made A's on all the tests, the best grade you can get is a C. And I said, okay, I'll just come in and take the test then. And that's what. And matter of fact, I took the final sitting outside her office in the hallway because I couldn't make it to the class that day. So I took it early, and I sat outside her office, and took the test in the hallway. And I got a C in the class because I didn't do any of the homework. I told her.
So, but the professor didn't even show up to the class. It sounds like.
Well, no, the class was being instructed by one of those. Let's put it this way: it was being instructed by what I would have ended up having to do in order to get my teaching degree. You know.
But where's the professor? Isn't there like a head professor off?
There was a professor. She was actually the instructor for the.
Oh, okay. So she was an actual. She was actually acting as. It wasn't one of those classes where there's a professor, but he never shows up.
Right. No, she was teaching the class, but she was also a student. So.
Okay.
She was somebody working. She was working towards a higher degree in education. So part of her thing was that she had to teach a class. I mean, I didn't fault her for it. The day or two she showed up, it was.
That's what I've always wondered. Like, so they go and they call these these professors at the 2-year colleges. They call them what was the word you just used? Instructor.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've always wondered, well, I've maybe not always wondered, but I'm wondering now, what's the difference between someone who's an instructor and having a class, could have a class and have a professor and not, I don't know. And the professor doesn't show up, so you might end up with some sort of instructor anyway who's not.
Yeah. But. Nope.
It's like somebody signs up for Professor Noam Chomsky's linguistics class. I'm not sure how often he's actually teaching it, or how often he's got like some student teacher and off lecturing.
Well, there are some teachers that do that, so those are the ones that have tenure and can get away with anything.
Interesting. Yeah, I know a tenure can help protect a teacher. Maybe they're a good teacher and they're controversial, but then again, maybe I don't know. I'm not gonna get into tenure. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about it to keep from upsetting people.
We are not professionals. We do not know what we're talking about. We're just here jibber jabbing.
We're just laymen.
That's right. We're laymen. We're absolutely laymen. All right.
But you're a professional artist.
Somewhat.
And to prove it, you got Hero on Indiegogo.
That's right. I sure do. And there's a really special option to buy Hero right now called the Sleeve Stack Pack. It's 2 copies of the book, plus 2 copies of the sketchbook, and 2 copies of the Ashcan for a very reasonable price. And
at least one individual, possibly a Sleeve Stack, backed it.
Yes, they did, and that's fantastic. I think that's awesome. Now that Sharpie's dead. Let me see if I've got another one I can use. I found a whole thing of Sharpies yesterday. I just not know where they. Oh, you know what? I found them. They've been knocked over. Somebody knocked them over, and I can't reach them from here.
Besides animals, do you have any other beings in your hero book besides anthropomorphic animals?
Nope. We have decided to add fantasy creatures. There is in book 3, there's a flashback story in which one of the heroes of old rides around on one of the last griffins, which is half lion and half eagle, and that's kind of cool. And
Yeah.
so we introduce fantasy, mythical beasts in the story, but at the point in the story where we're getting where the character that rides this mythical beast is introduced, griffins have been extinct for years, for many centuries. So it's just a tale. A tale as old as time. Got it. I reached it.
So it's a flashback to before they were extinct.
Right.
Excellent.
But of course, I have a way of. We have a twist in that particular story, but that won't happen until volume 4.
Is it an Oliver twist?
An Oliver twist? No. It's
That's good.
It's a nothing is really ever extinct type of twist.
Uh-oh.
So
Spoiler alert.
spoiler alert. That's right.
Let's see, that Sleestack pack is a $120 value, 25% off, and it's currently $90 US.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
And only one individual claimed it. That's surprising.
One very special individual. Well, I hate to say this. I think a lot of people would look at. Yes, dear. Honey, come over here. There's a thing of tools over here, and I believe there's a Phillips head screwdriver in this stack somewhere. Yes, I'm going back. My daughter came for something. What was I saying? Oh, people that might see the title of that particular perk might not realize what it is,
Yeah, that could very well be edited and changed, couldn't it?
Well, yeah, I could change it, but I mean, I kind of like it. But people might be looking at it going, Sleestack, maybe that a perk was created for for a certain individual or group of individuals, and because the rest of us don't understand what the heck they're talking about.
Yeah, that very well could give off that impression.
But
even though I'm kind of fond of the name myself.
Yeah. But oh no, I think it's fantastic. So I'm going with it. Could
it be that some people just want just the plain book, or just want, two of the books or two sketchbooks or something?
Well, this is an opportunity for them to get it if they want 2 copies, one for them and one to share.
So this is like two of two. They get not only the book, but then I mean 2 of the books, but they get 2 of the ash cans as well.
That's right.
And 2 of the sketchbooks.
Right. Which the sketchbooks I'm almost done with. I was counting up the pages in my Sketch-A-Day sketchbook, and I'm up to like 44 sketches that I'm going to use in the sketchbook, so I'm really close to filling it up. So I may have copies of the sketchbook in my hand before the campaign even ends.
Cool.
Or probably just afterwards.
And that's two of each kind of book.
That's right.
The ash can's really just a little book.
Yes, the ash can is kind of like a mini comic, and it's going to include a story. It's an extra story that isn't available anyplace else. It's going to include a preview of book 2, and it's going to include some behind-the-scenes stuff that you'll only find in the ash can. So, oh jeez, I stuck my hand right there in the middle of the.
Oh no!
Yeah, I know. It happens.
I was just looking at the Indiegogo site when you did that, so.
Oh yeah.
I missed it.
All right, there we go. I forgot the eye. That's the whole reason why I did that. Gives him kind of a creepy look when he has little white dots for eyes. So what do you think, Sleestack? Good sketch?
Looks nice. And so it's not that you can only draw like anthropomorphic animals, you can also draw anthropomorphic trees.
Well, this is supposed to be Thanos. Does it look like Thanos?
gonna have to look at a side-by-side comparison, but
Well, here,
I can definitely see the resemblance.
here, I'll show you the reference I was looking at. It's this image right here of him from the movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can definitely see the inspiration.
Never.
But it wasn't like, but you went and put your own twist on things.
Oh, hold on, just. Okay, sounds good, dear.
It hit me in the temple so hard today. I was gonna die.
My daughter's so funny. I love that kid. She's pretty great. All right. Are we ready to do? Well, dang, I didn't realize we'd been doing this for almost an hour and a half. I guess that's what happens when you get in a groove and you get things happening.
Yeah, I'm surprised your shows aren't a little bit longer, considering you got a book to shill.
Model 316 says that is a great Ron Perlman drawing. Thank you, thank you. Somebody out there will like it and want to buy it from me, hopefully.
Yeah, I can definitely see now. That I can see.
All right. Are you ready for horror?
Oh
Horror
no,
to its greatest extent, because I got to do it. I got to do it.
no, you don't.
Yeah, I do. I got to do it.
Do you go and test your blood sugar after you do this?
No. I'd hate to do that afterwards. That would probably be bad. So, hello everybody. Welcome once again to Misfit Corner Comics, and we're going to taste test some Peeps. And of course, I only have Lorenzo with me here tonight because the rest of the people were too scared to come in because they were horrified by what I did last night. And Lorenzo,
That's okay. I can white box myself, so I don't have to look.
Oh, okay. Well, I white.
But it's kind of cheating.
Well, I white boxed me, so everybody's looking at me right now. So, but now here's the question for you, Lorenzo. I have 4 boxes here of Peeps, and you got to help me pick out which one I'm going to taste tonight. Okay? We have sour watermelon, which I'm kind of looking forward to, even though I'm not a big sour guy. Hell, I'm not even a big watermelon guy, but that to me sounds like it'll taste like what it's going to be, you know? Maybe.
Probably not.
All right, we got party cake, blue raspberry, which are raspberries blue?
I don't know.
Well, I know they make red raspberries and blue raspberries. Okay. And then, of course, cotton candy. Cotton candy is the one my boy...
You know, these natural, even the natural flavors, they start out natural, but then they modify them in a lab.
Well, see, cotton candy says artificially flavored. Okay. Blue raspberry says naturally and artificially flavored.
Which I think are more similar than most people would probably think.
Yeah. Party cake is naturally and artificially flavored, and sour watermelon is naturally and artificially flavored. So 3 of these have some type of natural flavoring in them, and cotton candy is just all 100% artificial. All right, so which one do you think I should try this evening?
Probably none of them.
None of them?
So which one, were there any ones you bought just to torment Avery? Because you might want to skip those.
Sour watermelon. That is one that I want to do with Avery. So, okay, I think tonight.
Okay.
I think tonight's cotton candy. Let's get the. Oh, wait a minute. Model 316 says go for blue raspberry. We're going for blue raspberry. We got to vote. That's what
Interesting
we're
choice.
Yes. Well, I'm glad somebody said something because you're not helping me at
I
all.
would have probably just gone with a party cake, but that's not as interesting as the blue raspberry.
Dillard says blue raspberry too, so we're gonna do that.
Yeah, that one sounds interesting.
Yeah. All right. Ooh, I can smell them already.
It sounds like they got like they have a very strong smell.
Yeah, these are right up there with the fruit punch smelling ones. But look here. They're blue. They're beautiful,
Oh my
cute
gosh.
little blue. So yeah.
Color not found in nature.
Color not found in nature. No. All right. 25 calories per chick. Really? 100 calories per serving. Oh, wait a minute. The serving size of this must be less than the other ones.
Interesting.
Yeah, 4 chicks is a serving for this one. Interesting. Because the fruit punch, I specifically remember, was 5 chicks. So
that seemed like quite a generous serving of
it
nothing.
does.
Of nothing. Of like
Well, the inside
flavored marshmallows.
The insides of these are a light blue and not just white. And Dillard says, can Lorenzo help put one in your mouth?
Oh no.
And Model
That's
316
not even possible.
Model 316 says microwave one. Oh man, I tell you what, these things smell wonderful.
We're gonna go and like
You know
one
what?
of these days you're gonna leave the camera on by mistake or something. We're gonna see you snorting those things up your nose.
These things smell so good. I'd wrap a string around it and hang it from like the rearview mirror in the car, you know, because it has that kind of a pungent smell.
Be interesting seeing that you get that ticket from the police.
Model 316 says, Lorenzo, chew one up and feed him like a baby bird.
Yeah, this is like feeder porn.
Feeder point. Yeah, it smells delicious. But let's the thing about marshmallow peeps
Yeah.
is the taste. Do they taste as good as they smell? And so far, they haven't been that great. Dillard says, put one on top of a chocolate and microwave it. Well, I was thinking about like dropping them into like a cup of hot chocolate, you know, because you know how you add marshmallows to hot chocolate.
Yeah, that seems like an appropriate use.
So I may have to try that. I may have to try that in the future. But for right now, this is just straight peeps. Oh wow.
Actually has flavor to it?
It definitely has this one definitely has a flavor to it.
Interesting.
It has
It's not just a dull flavor that one has come to expect from Peeps.
it has an aftertaste. This one, these ones have a pretty hefty aftertaste.
Oh.
I feel like I'll be tasting that for a long time.
Oh boy.
Commodore says that would probably make me throw up in the car if you did that. I get no pain migraines, and I'm triggered by smells and motion.
Yeah.
Model
It's
3
definitely the triggering a live stream.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, see, what was funny was with the fruit punch one, it took 3 peeps before I actually started to taste the difference. With the ones from last night, which was the pancake and syrup, it was 3 or 4 before I tasted. These I taste right away. These have a distinct blue raspberry, and I'm tasting the raspberry. I do taste it.
But is that distinct flavor any good though?
It's like a raspberry. It's like a chemical raspberry taste.
It sounds like they've come up with like an excellent smell, but then you go in to eat them and you
wow! Look,
seem to be disappointed.
My tongue's already blue.
Oh my gosh!
One peep and my tongue's blue. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through 2 of these, so I'm going to go for a second one. Mmm. Mmm. Mmm.
Diabetes.
Oh. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Do raspberries have a tart taste to them? Because I'm definitely getting like a chemical tart taste out of these.
I don't know, maybe a little, but
I feel like I'm going to be tasting it tomorrow morning. I'm
but
definitely.
not, I mean, it shouldn't be that strong. It's not like it shouldn't be like eating like a cherry without like added sugar or something.
Guys, I don't think I can do more than 2 tonight because this is definitely going to knock me on.
Yeah, it's good to know your limitations.
Dillard says, try double fisting 2 peeps, but pull your shirt over your head first. Not going to happen. Okay, no, one more. I got to do at least 3.
Oh boy. I'm just afraid you're gonna go and like have some sort of like diabetic fit.
I'm a peep connoisseur, and these, I have to say it, but I was more excited about the other two that I tried first. The Hawaiian Punch blew me away. The thought of that. The pancake and syrup was so cool. I liked the idea of that. Both of those fell short of the taste and experience because they had wonderful smells, but the taste to me was pretty bland. These knock me out on taste and smell. These have been the best so far because I'm probably going to be still tasting this tomorrow morning.
Oh boy. But shouldn't whether or not shouldn't there at least be a quality, like a good quality taste to a food product?
Woo! Okay, that's got to be the last one. That's a lot of sugar. Granted, I didn't even have a whole serving. 4 of these things is a serving, but that is a lot of sugar. Ooh.
So Dillard is saying that's not how diabetes works, Lorenzo. In all caps. So there's not any sort of insulin fit, or lack of insulin.
No. I usually my numbers usually run high, so I'm used to running high. These things would just give me a spike, but I'm okay.
Do people like collapse sometimes, or what happens with?
Yeah, they can, but I have my biggest issues is when I have a very low blood sugar. But
okay, yeah, I can identify with that.
I ate a full dinner before I started, so I was good to go. I wasn't doing it on an empty stomach.
Oh, I see, on an empty stomach, and then all of a sudden you get the sugar rush.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll be bad.
Says get a Choco Taco to wash away the tartness. I need something because man, that raspberry taste is very heavy, very very, and it's not that. I almost guarantee you the raspberry taste that is the artificial flavoring because it's got a chemical type of sting to it, tartness to it. Unless blue raspberries are naturally very tarty, but I'm not a big raspberry fan, so I wouldn't know. Let's see. Model says, shove one in a can of Red Bull and chug it. Are you guys trying to kill me? Is that what you're trying?
I think so, and Dillard is just. I don't know.
Dillard says that's not how diabetes works, Lorenzo. And then Model says the only bad thing about blue raspberry is that it does to your. Oh, okay. I'm not going to finish that statement, but okay. And John says Lorenzo doesn't know how junk food works.
In all caps.
Oh, Commodore says berries are usually tart. Okay, well then these are very, very tart. Ooh, I'm still tasting it. I had 3 of them, and I'm still tasting it. And I'm not tasting the sugar. I'm tasting the tartness of the raspberries. So, all right. If you guys get an opportunity, go to your local Walmart. That's where I found all of these. And
but aren't they particularly bad tasting?
Well, on a scale from 1 to 10, I give the fruit punch a 9.5 on smell and a 4 on taste because it took a while to get it.
Yeah.
Pancake and syrup, I'd give it an 8 on smell because the flavor came out right away.
Yeah, and I noticed that you.
Yeah, taste-wise, it was like a 2 or a 3. There really wasn't much of a taste to it. These, smell-wise, at least a 9. Taste-wise, at least a 9. So
really, so did you actually enjoy the taste though? I thought they were too tart for you.
No, I did not enjoy the taste. I didn't enjoy the taste at all. But it wasn't just eating a marshmallow, which is tasteless. This, you felt the taste. You had it. It left you with something. I'm not saying I'm a fan of this.
You're saying for a marshmallow, you thought it was quite tasty.
For a marshmallow, it's quite tasty. Yes, that's what I'm going to say.
Or at least they gave you something to talk about. It wasn't, even if you didn't like the taste particularly.
John says these scores don't sound well thought out. No, not necessarily. That was not a scale of whether or not I liked them or not.
Usually it's like a scale of quality.
Yes. No. No. Well,
You're just saying as far as intensity.
if all you wanted to do was smell them, they all smell wonderful. If you wanted to eat them and taste them and enjoy them, we're not there yet. We still got a couple more to try. We'll see if any of those break the mold. But right now, taste-wise, this one is the one that has the biggest effect. Not necessarily a good thing.
That is